the most beautiful royal jewellery. A set of 9 unique items, including a tiara, necklace, earrings, pendants, brooch, ring and bracelet, as well as a precious crown, will be on sale on May 12th in Geneva as part of the magnificent jewels sale. This set, created in the early 1800s, belonged to Empress Josephine de Beauharnais, the first wife of Napoleon France. Josephine married Viscount Alexandre Beauharnais, who was executed by guillotine and had 2 children with him whom Napoleon adopted. A few years later, he also adopted Stephanie de Beauharnais, the future wife of the Grand Duke of Baden. After Josephine's death, the sapphire parure passed to her daughter Hortense, Queen of Holland. Hortense took the jewellery with her into exile and sold them to survive. Hortense's sister Stephanie inherited the parure and converted it into a tiara and bracelet. Then, the jewellery passed to the children of Josephine and Leopoldo, who combined them with a sapphire tiara, the crown of the Queen of Portugal. In 1905, William Hohenzollern bequeathed the jewellery to his son. Now the parure is being sold by a descendant of Prince William, and the tiara is being sold by the crown, possibly by the descendants of Johann Georg Hohenzollern. A necklace given by Napoleon to the Polish Countess Maria Walewska. This exquisite piece of jewellery, weighing about 95 carats, is made of gold and diamonds, and is a vivid example of the style popularized by Napoleon's first wife, Josephine. The necklace, made by the jeweler Johann Gottlob Golub, has the peculiarity of transforming into a bracelet or tiara. This allows its owner to change the image depending on the mood or occasion. The stones are cut in such a way as to sparkle in the candlelight, creating a mesmerizing play of light and shadow. The history of this necklace is connected with dramatic events in the life of Maria Walewskaya. On May 4th, 1810, just 6 days before the birth of their illegitimate son Alexander, Napoleon presented her with this jewellery. However, a month earlier, he divorced Josephine in order to marry Maria Louisa, an Austrian princess from the Habsburg dynasty. This decision was dictated by the need to give birth to the heir to the French throne from a woman of royal blood. A tiara belonging to the Italian royal family will be auctioned at Sotheby's for the first time. This exquisite jewellery, made of natural pearls and diamonds, is one of the most significant pieces of jewellery that have appeared on the market in recent years. The preliminary estimate of the tiara ranges from 940,000 to 1,400,000 Swiss francs. The tiara is a chain of 11 graduated scrolls, each of which is decorated with natural pearls and old-cut diamonds. It can be transformed into a necklace. The manufacture of the tiara presumably dates back to 1867 and is associated with the wedding of Maria Vittoria dal Pozzo with Amedeo Firmage of Savoy, Duke of Aosta. The tiara was designed and created by Musi Jewelers, a brand with a centuries-old history that began in 1707 with Giacomo Musi. His creations quickly gained the recognition of nobles and kings and muses, and became the official jeweler of the royal house. The Gothic tiara of Princess Royal Mary, created by jeweler H.G. Murphy in 1924, is a unique work of art. The tiara was intended for Princess Mary, Countess of Harewood, daughter of Mary of Teck, and sold at auction in 1966 for £462. Little was known about the designer and manufacturer of this jewellery, but thanks to the research of Paul Atterbury and John Benjamin, British jewellery experts, it was possible to learn more about the life and work of Harry Murphy. Murphy, an English designer and jeweller, studied with Henry Wilson from 1898 to 1904, who was one of the most influential mentors of young talents in the field of arts and crafts in England. In 1922, Murphy received an important commission to create a tiara for Mary, Princess Royal, on the occasion of her engagement to the Earl of Harewood. The order was made on behalf of Queen Mary of Teck, the mother of the princess. In 1922, at the Quirinal Palace, the royal palace in Rome, Princess Violante of Savoy married Giorgio Carlo Calvi, Count of Bergolo, an Italian nobleman. This exquisite tiara was made by Fratelli Petacci Jewellery Workshop and became a wedding gift from her parents, King Vittorio Emanuele III of Italy and Queen Elena. The tiara was distinguished by its magnificent design and the use of large diamonds, some of which were removable, which allowed it to be worn with both a ring and earrings. After Yolanda's death in 1986, the tiara was put up for auction at Christie's Jewels, where it aroused great interest among collectors and connoisseurs of jewellery. Its unique history and exceptional quality attracted the attention of many bidders, and eventually the tiara was sold for a significant amount. This auction has become an important event in the world of jewellery, highlighting the enduring value and beauty of this work. The sunny citrines and diamonds adorning the gold jewellery of the last queen of Egypt, Nariman Sadek, are exquisite pieces of jewellery. These precious jewellery, created by the famous Pierre Stella Company, belonged to the Egyptian state after nationalization after the Egyptian Revolution of 1952. However, in 2017, they were stolen, and an unknown attacker tried to sell them at Sotheby's auction. Nariman Sadek was the second wife of King Farouk the Mo and the mother of Crown Prince Ahmed Fuad. After the death of Farouk in 1965, Ahmed Fuad became the formal ruler of Egypt. But in fact, the country was ruled by a commission headed by Prince Mohammed Abdel Monem. Nariman Sadek and her son Ahmed Fuad were unable to retain power, and in 1952, a revolution took place in the country, as a result of which the royal family was overthrown. In the jewellery collection of the Duchess of Cornwall, there is a unique brooch with Ceylon sapphires and diamonds, which is related to the last imperial couple of Russia. In the summer of 1897, Queen Victoria was inundated with gifts to mark the 60th anniversary of her accession to the throne. Among these gifts was a diamond and sapphire brooch, which she received as a joint gift from her grandchildren, Empress Alexandra Feodorovna, her husband Nicholas II, Grand Duchess Elizabeth Feodorovna, and her husband. After the death of Queen Victoria, the brooch passed into the royal collection of jewellery, and during the last century, none of the representatives of the British royal family wore this jewellery. However, in 2007, Camilla Parker Bowles wore the brooch for the first time during a visit to the United States. Subsequently, the wife of Prince Charles repeatedly chose this historical jewel to attend official events. The diamond bow, which became a symbol of the Bernadotte dynasty, appeared in the early 20th century and was associated with the name of Victoria of Baden. This exquisite accessory consisted of a round central element decorated with a large removable pearl pendant. The first one to try on this bow was Princess Lillian. It then passed to Crown Princess Victoria, who continued to wear it at various official events. Princess Madeleine, the youngest daughter of Queen Sylvia, also proudly wore this bow. In 2010, Princess Sophia, the younger sister of Crown Princess Victoria, also tried it on. The diamond bow has become an integral part of the wardrobe of members of the royal family of Sweden. It symbolizes their elegance, sophistication, and connection with the history of the dynasty. Each princess wearing this accessory continues the tradition started by Victoria of Baden and emphasizes her belonging to the royal family. The pearl pendant of Queen Marie Antoinette is one of the most impressive and expensive jewelry in the world. Created from a natural pearl of an impressive size of 26 by 18 millimeters, this pendant is a real work of art and a symbol of luxury. The story of this pendant begins with Queen Marie Antoinette, who was known for her passion for jewelry. The pendant was made especially for her and was probably of a personal nature. After the Queen's death, the jewelry was most likely transferred to the royal collection and then lost or forgotten. In 2017, the pendant was discovered at Sotheby's auction, where it aroused great interest among collectors and art connoisseurs. As a result, it was sold for a record $36 million, which became one of the most expensive auctions in history. This amount highlights not only the rarity and beauty of the decoration, but also its historical significance. At the beginning of the 13th century, King Valdemar II of Denmark married Princess Margarita Dragomir from the Czech Republic. Her parents were Orthodox, and the people of Denmark fell in love with the princess for her generosity and beauty, giving her the name Dagmar, which means radiant maiden. Unfortunately, she died early, leaving a memory of herself that the Danes cherish to this day. At the end of the 17th century, a small Byzantine cross of the 11th century made of gold, decorated with Orthodox enamel images, was discovered in the tomb of Queen Dagmar. The front side of the cross depicts the crucifixion of Christ, and on the back, the Lord Almighty, the Mother of God, John the Baptist, saints, Basil the Great, and John Chrysostom. In 1863, King Frederick VII presented a luxurious necklace with a replica of the Dagmar cross to his niece, Princess Alexandra, for her wedding to the British Prince Edward. The necklace was designed so that the cross pendant could be removed and worn as a brooch. It is now kept in the British Royal House. Queen Elizabeth wore it during a visit to Denmark in 1957 without the cross. The oldest and most noble order of the Thistle, founded in Scotland, is one of the oldest chivalric orders in the world. Although the exact date of its foundation is unknown, James VII, King of Scotland and England, established the modern order in 1687. The main emblem of the order is the thistle, which is also the national symbol of Scotland. The order's motto is Nemo me impune lacessit, Latin, no one will touch me with impunity, which is also used on the royal coat of arms and some pound coins. The patron saint of the order is St. Andrew. The symbols of the order include the breast star and the order chain with the badge of the order. The breast star is made of silver and represents the cross of Saint Andrew with outgoing rays. In the center of the cross is a gold medallion with the image of a thistle, surrounded by a green rim with the motto of the order. The star is worn on the left side of the chest. The order chain, made of gold, depicts thistles and rue shoots and is worn over the mantle. The badge of the Order of St. Andrew, also called badge appendix, is an 8-pointed gold star with an enameled image of Saint Andrew. This badge is worn on a chain and is one of the most significant symbols of the order. On less solemn occasions, cavaliers may use simpler insignia, such as the Star of the Order. The star consists of a silver saint, Andrew's cross with outgoing rays, and a gold medallion with a thistle in the center. The medallion is surrounded by a green rim with the motto of the order. The necklace of Princess Faiza of Egypt, created in the Art Deco style, is a unique piece of jewellery made by Van Cleef and Arpels in 1929 and modified in 1937. This piece of jewellery, decorated with 10 drop-shaped emeralds descending from a geometric structure completely studded with diamonds, was purchased for the princess in 1947 by a representative of the royal court of Egypt in France. Princess Faiza wore this necklace only on a few special occasions. In 2013, the necklace was sold at Christie's auction for $4,203,848, which underlines its high value and historical significance. In 2014, this historical decoration was included in the Van Cleef Museum collection. And Arpels has become an exhibit at exhibitions around the world, demonstrating its elegance and craftsmanship. The necklace of Princess Faiza is a striking example of Art Deco jewellery and continues to attract the attention of collectors and connoisseurs around the world. Exquisite gold earrings created around the 1st century BC in India have come down to us from the depths of centuries. These ornaments, in addition to clusters and rows of balls, are decorated with a winged lion, an elephant, and 2 vases filled with vegetation. The earrings are worn by slipping through the stretched earlobe from behind, with the lion facing the owner's cheek and the elephant facing out. Judging by the material value, craftsmanship, and use of royal emblems in the design, these earrings were probably created by royal order. Each earring consists of 2 rectangular shapes, similar to buds, which grow outward from a central tendril with a double stem. The elephant and lion, made of hammered gold, are carefully detailed. Although the earrings are not exactly identical, on the underside they are both decorated with a classic early Indian ornament in the form of a vase with 3 palmettes. But the leaf pattern differs. These items are so large and heavy that they had to inflate the earlobes and rest on the shoulders of the owner. The St. Edward's sapphire ring is one of the most famous and significant artifacts in British history. The legend of the stone begins in the middle of the 11th century and is associated with the last Anglo-Saxon king of England, Edward the Confessor, circa 1003, January 5th, 1066. In 1042, before his coronation, Edward received a ring in which an excellent sapphire was inserted. The stone was selected taking into account the character and habits of the monarch, who was distinguished by special piety and was nicknamed the Confessor. Edward regularly visited Westminster Abbey, where he prayed and gave alms. One day, a beggar approached him, and Edward, having no coins or food, took the ring off his finger and gave it to the elder. The elder thanked the king and blessed him. Many years have passed since then, and Edward ruled the country in peace and harmony, forgetting about the ring. Many years later, 2 pilgrims from the Holy Land returned the ring to the king, telling the story of how they were saved by a group of people, among whom was an elder who called himself John the Evangelist. The saint asked to return the ring to the king and tell him that they would meet in paradise in 6 months. In 1066, Edward died and was buried with a ring. When his coffin was opened 200 years later, the king's body turned out to be perfectly preserved. The ring was removed from Edward's hand and handed over to the royal treasury. Since then, the St. Edward's sapphire has become part of the crown jewels. In 1936, the sapphire almost disappeared. During the funeral of King George V, the heavy Maltese cross with a sapphire crowning the state crown fell off and fell to the pavement. This caused the royals a lot of trouble. The next day, Garrard specialists were called to the tower to repair the crown. Since then, court jewelers have been instructed to conduct a thorough inspection of the royal jewels every winter and restore them if necessary. The St. Edward's sapphire is a dark blue stone weighing 167 carats, cut in the shape of a rose. It is installed in the center of the upper cross, crowning the crown of the British Empire. The sapphire can be seen in the exposition of the Tower of London. It still accompanies British monarchs and is displayed along with other jewels of the royal family. Anne of Austria, Queen of France and wife of King Louis XIII, is one of the most famous and controversial figures of the 17th century. Her life was full of drama and intrigue, and her role in the history of France still arouses interest and controversy. Anne of Austria was known for her sensitivity and tenderness. Her skin was so delicate that even the touch of coarse cloth could make her nervous. Linen was sewn for the queen from the finest cambric, and the sheets on which she slept had to meet the highest standards and pass through a golden ring. However, such sensitivity did not help her cope with the harsh reality of life. At a young age, Anna was forced to leave her native home and marry Louis XIII. Their marriage was unhappy. The king showed no interest in his young wife, and their only child, the future Sun King Louis XIV, was born only 24 years after the wedding. Despite this, Anne was devoted to her son, and, after the death of Louis XIII, insisted on revoking the renunciation of the regency signed by her husband. She became a powerful woman who was able to protect the interests of her son and France. Anna of Austria's ring, which she wore, is a symbol of her strength and devotion. It has a rotating top, on one side of which is a portrait of Anne, and on the other, her son, Louis XIV. The ring is not pompous and rich. It resembles painted wooden children's toys. This makes him especially sweet and meaningful to Anna. In moments of doubt and hesitation, the ring served as a reminder to the queen. Here I am, the queen mother, and here is my son, the future king of France. It symbolized her strength, dedication, and willingness to protect the interests of her son at any cost. Napoleon's talisman, a historical mystery. In 1936, a Dutch landscape gardener discovered an unusual artifact, a crystal sphinx on a silver stand with 114 precious stones. This precious object, known as the Napoleon talisman, has not only aesthetic value but also historical significance. The story of the mascot began in Noordwijk, the Netherlands, where a gardener found this object at a depth of about 15 feet. This place was previously occupied by the royal palace, which from 1808 to 1810 was occupied by Napoleon's brother Louis, Napoleon, and Josephine's daughter Hortense. The crystal sphinx is not just an ornament, but also contains a secret cipher designed by Napoleon Bonaparte himself. This cipher is associated with the encoding of tarot cards, and researchers suggest that Napoleon's initials NB are encoded in the location and number of precious stones. Jean-Antoine Houdon, a famous sculptor, is also considered a possible author of the Crystal Sphinx. His talent and skill could create such an exquisite and symbolic work of art. Napoleon's talisman attracts the attention of not only historians, but also lovers of riddles and mysteries. Its origin, authorship, and hidden meaning remain the subject of debate and research. Perhaps, over time, all the secrets of this amazing artifact associated with one of the most influential and mysterious leaders in history will be revealed. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, subscribe to the channel and like it. Thanks.